Ooh, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 97 of the Stand Up Guys podcast. I'm your host, incomparable Zach Jones, joined as always by my brother from the same mother, Lester Jones.
Hello, everybody.
And, of course, we're also joined by the ninth wonder, Chocolate Thunder, licking butts and getting in guts, the ass tasting, time's a wasting, having fun eating that scrum, the phenomenal one, A.J. Singh.
I'm actually a germaphobe, everybody.
What have you guys been doing this week? Anything good?
What you?
Oh, gosh. At work the other day, like across from our building, there's a church/preschool. And I was walking around the block, and there's this like homeless woman out in front of the preschool. Kids playing on the playground and everything. No pants, just ass in the wind. I was like, it's another fine day in Portland today.
Yeah.
But we called the non-emergency police on her, but I think she was gone by the time they got there. So,
How would you like to be the police that has to handle a situation like that?
yeah. You think there's like one guy in the force that like, hey, go call Rodney.
This is a job for Rod.
That son of a bitch.
Like whatever cops like on the on the shit stack that week gets that kind of job.
You know, I told you that story about that time who like the guy was like either high or drunk and like took a gigantic shit and then like fell asleep next to him.
Oh yeah, rolled in it.
Well, I was talking to the guy like he was there when it was started and he was trying to get him to leave even before he like laid down and passed out or whatever. And he said the cop came and was like looked at him and was like, "Nah, I'm not dealing with this. Like, if you hose him off, maybe." I was like, ugh. Whose alarm? Oh, it's yours.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, cops don't want to deal with that shit. And even here, I think they're pretty much they've been kind of handcuffed themselves. They can't really deal with the homeless very much.
I think you told me that, or somebody told me that the number one thing to do, like before you get arrested, is to shit yourself.
Right, because cops don't want shit in their car. They don't want to be smelling that all the fucking night. They don't have to fucking go clean it out.
No.
Yeah, but you have to shit your pants before you get arrested. That's the key.
Or during.
Or yeah, just puke down yourself.
Yeah.
Well, if they've already arrested you and called it in, like they have to take you in, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, you got to be a preemptive.
So if it's a traffic stop and they like, sir, get out of your car, and
Right, and you got your hands on there and just go puke down yourself and
just-
oh god, I'm shitting.
dump a load.
Yeah, then they'll be like, all right, move along.
It's like a race to shoot him before he shits kind of situation. Like his face is red. He's trying to shit himself. Get him. That's a double-edged sword, though, because if you shoot him, he's going to shit himself anyway.
Yeah, more paperwork.
Yeah.
What have you guys been watching this week, I guess?
Man, I'm pathetic. I've been watching the same things over and over. I'm a comfort
Mighty
creature.
Morphin Power Rangers on loop.
So I've been like listening to this guy Nick DeRamio, and he does these great breakdowns of TV shows and movies, and you know I've seen him do recaps of movies that I've already seen and like seen the reviews for from other channels. But he's just so funny. He's like very out and proud gay, and like the way he like his personality, the way he wields his like his sharp tongue and everything. He's just so funny. Like, I'm really a fan of his, so I couldn't recommend this channel more to people. Nick DeRamio.
See, we need to be more flamboyant when we review shit. That's how we get views.
One of us has to straight up just love cock. I mean, he's not shy about it. He'll definitely make those jokes. So who's getting fucked in the ass on this?
How about every time we review something, we do like rock, paper, scissors, and the loser has to be like super flamboyant.
yeah, I've been watching that. I watched some John Wick again, man. I just
You guys in John Wick.
John Wick is just, I don't know, man. Like, I'm waiting for that next movie to come out. It was just
I know it was supposed to come out this year.
It was so heartbreaking that it got postponed a whole year. Like, now I gotta wait throughout this whole year and then some of next year to watch it. So at least Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out this year. So I'm just into those like same things that I've been watching, same, franchises just continuing.
If only you could do a Hocus Pocus 2 John Wick 4 double feature.
Hey, I would do it. Don't even tempt me. I haven't watched Miss Marvel yet. I've heard good things about it. I don't.
It's not. Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. I think it's coming out like week to week.
It is. Yeah, I just didn't think it was quite out yet. So like the first episode is out.
I haven't watched it. I saw the cover to the show on Disney Plus. So
okay.
I'm not sure what exact. Maybe it's like the making of the show, or maybe it is the show.
Or coming soon, or something like that. Okay.
It could be. Yeah. So I've seen that, and I did see like new rock stars talk about it, but they sometimes get early access to those shows and movies, the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, that's a shitty thing about like reviewing stuff. Is some outlets get like early access.
Yeah.
So like, even if you're on the ball, like you're never gonna be as fast as those people.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me.
What about you?
I just started the first episode of The Boys today, so that's going to be on my list.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could review The Boys, but I've already seen like YouTube things of people reviewing that. I'm like, God damn, they get them ahead of time or whatever.
And then there's watched a few episodes of Stranger Things, so that's still going pretty strong. But all the kids like went through puberty, so now they look. It's like a big difference. It's like a slap in the face for some. Like there's like a kid that's this tall, and then like the next season he's like, 9 feet tall or something.
It'd be funny if like half the season was just the boys like all hating on each other, trying to get with the girl. Like him, no, his breath stinks. He's blah blah. You should.
I think they missed that phase where like the girls are bigger than the boys.
Yeah,
that's a funny phase.
It seemed like she was a little taller than them.
She probably was a little bit. Yeah, in those first ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's especially noticeable both with Finn Wolfhard, who's the guy that was also in Ghostbusters Afterlife, But even more so, I don't know the actor's name, but the kid that kid
that has the bowl cut.
Yeah, he's the one in season 1 that got like taken to the upside down or whatever. Right. Man, like, what he looks like now and what he looked like then is like so different, man. Like, goddamn.
They've done him like super dirty and like kept the bowl cut though. They couldn't like.
That's true.
They couldn't be like, you know what? You're in the 9th grade. You can do a little something with yourself. Well, you've had a tough time.
It was the 80s. Everybody was doing the bowl cut.
We had that principal that had the bowl cuts.
Oh no!
Did we?
Evans. He was in middle school. Well, I think he moved from middle school to
oh yeah,
elementary.
I think I kind of missed out on him.
You missed him. That was his transition period.
How old was he?
He was like, he had to have been like in his 40s.
Had a bowl cut?
Yeah, he had a straight bowl cut. And like I told my mom because I was kind of making fun of him one day, and like she went to the school for some reason and saw him, and like she had to like hide so she wasn't like laughing.
Are those guys that rock the flat top? There
were a couple of black guys with the Arsenio in there. Yeah.
Well, I just mean in real life, you sometimes see those.
You mean like the military guys, or like
crew cut?
Like like we used to have like a local car salesman on TV named Don Kay.
I know
that kind of flat top. Yeah,
I was like that guy in Mindhunter. Trench.
I think you're right. Although I didn't watch much of that show.
I don't know. I did like that show.
So Stranger Things and now The Boys. Anything else? Oh yeah, you just been watching tons of repair shops.
Still watching some repair shops. Still those floating around. I've been slowly going through this process of a job transition, and like I was recommended by somebody in the company, and so they're just kind of like rubber stamping it. But on Monday, like a guy was like, "Hey, can I call you and give you an interview today?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And this was over email. And then so like I waited through the day and he never called. I was like, well, I guess he got busy. And then today he sent me an email. He's like, I'm just gonna send your name to ER or HR. And I was like, oh, okay, that was the easiest interview ever had.
You said yes.
He's like, yeah, I interviewed him. He seemed like a
He's like,
quality guy.
if Josh says you're good, I'm good. I'm busy. I'm a busy man.
That was the interview. Can I interview you? Okay.
I just wanted to make sure you were okay with it.
Well, I also watched Stranger Things. I actually finished the batch of episodes they put out. So season 4, volume 1, I guess they're calling it, like 7 episodes.
Okay, yeah, I'm only like halfway.
But yeah, it still remains a very strong show. Really, really digging it. It's funny. There's like a song they play in like episode 4 that came out in the 80s. And apparently it like reached number 1.
Oh, it came back.
Yeah, because the show is so popular or whatever that like that song. Like,
That's been happening a little bit. Like the Guardians had that best-selling album that was all old songs.
yeah, it did very well too. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool that his song that old kid like.
The kids are getting back into the 80s.
Well, it's like, discovering like an old song you never knew about and being like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah, it
pretty
was
fucking
good.
good, on
that front, I'd rather they went back to the 70s than to keep going into like the 90s. Just skip the 90s, go to the 70s.
I also watched a Western that I hadn't watched in ages, The Quick and the Dead.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I don't remember anything.
I mean, I haven't seen it in ages, but
Does that have Sharon Stone in it?
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
it's
is
one.
that the Gene Hackman?
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
about them having like duels,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
It's like a playoff tournament they have.
Yeah. I'll say this, like, well, first of all, what I didn't realize is it's actually a Sam Raimi movie.
Oh.
And like you definitely notice it when they're having the duels because he does so many like of those like kind of tilted like zoom in shots on their face like back and forth like to a ludicrous degree sometimes. Like it'll just be like that, like they're getting ready, and it's like zoom in on this person's face, zoom in on the other person's face, like zoom in on the clock, like back and forth. I'm like, God damn, Sam Raimi, you didn't need so many of these cuts. I'll say this, like, not a great movie. Like,
Yeah, I don't remember really much anything except for that plot description, that one-liner.
I think Gene Hackman's actually pretty good at it. Sharon Stone, not so much. But it's got like a young Russell Crowe and like a teenage Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I remember DiCaprio. I didn't remember Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe's in it. I mean, yeah, it's watchable, but it's not the best thing in the world. I also watched the latest episode of Strange New Worlds. Star Trek continues to be good. I think
Yeah, I've watched 3 of those.
I might actually like of all the new Star Trek shows. I think I might like this one the best.
It's been pretty solid. I mean, especially just coming out of the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, I'm not really. It seems like I'm doing it more and more lately, but usually I like to binge watch shows rather than do the week to week thing.
Yeah.
But finally, the Orville returned,
Oh, I saw an ad for it.
and so I had to jump in. And man, what a great show!
I mean, I've seen a few and I did like them.
Man, I suggest you go back and watch them because it's really good stuff. Entertaining, like legitimately good sci-fi. Like,
Yeah, it definitely tackles a lot of strong thematic, like sci-fi stuff.
it's funny because you can tell like he sold the show by saying it was going to be like a Star Trek spoof, but really I feel like it's more of just a straight up love letter to Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like there are jokes in it,
Yeah.
but it's not meant to be like just
Yeah, it's
jokes,
like comic
jokes,
relief.
jokes.
It's still...
Yeah, like there's jokes in it, but it's more of just a straight up Star Trek show, really. But yeah, very much enjoyed the first episode of the
That's season 3 now?
season 3.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, it was a huge gap between the last season because, first of all, I think like COVID shut them down for a while, and then they changed from Fox to Hulu, and so I think maybe that did it as well. But it looks like maybe they have a higher budget now as well. Like the show actually looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, sometimes my show does all right though. Fork them a few extra bucks.
So hopefully it'll do well and keep going. How are you? You said you watched like the first season of Stranger Things, but then kind of fell off of it.
Yeah, I watched the first season, and it just takes time for the next season to come out. And in between that time, I just kind of started watching other stuff and never went back to it. Yeah.
You're just like super high all the time watching DuckTales.
DuckTales.
I do have like habitual kind of like I get high and watch like John Wick or watch like a Marvel movie. I do that a lot, so I got some habits. I need to start watching some new stuff here.
Yeah, when I was like in the army, I drink a lot, and we didn't have like any cable, so I just had like VHS movies, and I watched some of those things so many times.
I've seen the movie Evolution like
I like that one.
more than any movie I've ever seen in my life. I watched that one like probably over 100 times.
I feel like that one's underrated.
Yeah, it's such a
I
good
like
movie.
it,
Yeah.
I saw it once, and it seems like it had a couple funny bits in it.
Yeah.
Take the leg.
Yeah, that bit. That's the bit I remember. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He thinks he's an athlete.
Or he's like, isn't there a bit where he's like, I want some ice cream, and he's like, what flavor? It doesn't matter, it's for my ass.
Haven't seen that guy in a while.
Yeah, either of them. Duchovny, he was in Californication.
Yeah, he was in that. I don't know if I've seen him too much other than that.
I think for like a season they brought back X-Files.
Right, yeah. And yeah, I haven't seen Orlando Jones in basically anything since then.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that was popular around that time because he was on like Mad TV, I think.
Yeah, you'd see him popping up in a lot of.
I think he was like on Office Space and a few like comedies around that era.
And he was in that movie Time Machine too. So yeah, around that time period.
But yeah, I don't think I've seen him in quite a while. It's weird. There's these actors that just kind of go away.
Yeah, they just disappear.
I guess it's just such a competitive industry that.
I mean, that might be part of it, but some people just get sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or there's those like dollar bin movies at Walmart. Somebody's acting in those.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is mostly
Most
Dean
of them.
Cain.
I mean, some of these guys like they go into like the arts, like where they do like plays and stuff like that, So
Yeah, or some of them I think kind of transition to doing behind the scenes work. So they're like still in the industry, but they kind of do.
Yeah, they'll become a producer,
Directing.
or something. Yeah.
I know I've seen lately. What's her name from Back to the Future and
Leah
Howard the
Thompson?
Duck? Leah Thompson. I've seen her name on quite a few different things.
yeah, her
TV,
daughter,
like
her daughter's an
directing.
actor too. I think she
Yeah.
might be directing her or something.
I don't know. I've seen her name. I know I saw Leah's name as a director on like episodes of Stargirl and also I think an episode of Star Trek. I don't know. I don't remember if it was Picard or which one, but I'm pretty sure I saw her name on one of those as well.
I think her daughter's name is Zoe Deutsch.
That sounds right.
I've seen her in a few things. She's actually pretty popular, so.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen her, but I knew she had a daughter that acted in the industry, and I know I've heard that name. So, what does she act in, or do you?
I don't remember the movies per se, but they're like younger. She's like probably 20, 24 tops.
Oh, okay.
So young actress.
Man, Leah Thompson, she was pretty fine.
Yeah, I had a little crush on her.
Yeah, her daughter's pretty fine too. It's weird that I had a crush on her and now her daughter's like, and I'm like, okay, well.
Is her daughter a redhead?
She's like a strawberry blonde, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Got those Back to the Future 2 boobies.
We gotta go back to the future to see your mom's hot cans.
Doc's like, there's no fucking way you're going back this time.
Oh, man. Should we get this show on the road, the proverbial road? Well, anyone who hasn't watched or listened, we're going to go around the table, going to bring some wacky news stories from around the globe and see if we can't make something funny and or interesting out of them. And as tradition dictates, we usually start with AJ. So, AJ, what do you got for us this week?
Boxing legend Butterbean is back in shape and has called out Jake Paul. So Jake Paul is like a huge cash cow for a lot of people right now. I think Butterbean's trying to get in on that money.
I think he's just like a natural heel, so like people just want to see him get beat. So they're like, yeah, put him against someone tough, and we'll fork out the money.
Was Butterbean ever in shape? He was just gigantic.
Yeah, he's always been fat. I don't understand what they're talking about here.
Yeah, he's straight up. He's just like a freaking I don't know, man.
Well, boxing legend Eric Butterbean Esch is on the verge of a comeback after returning to his best shape ever and wants to fight against YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul.
It's like a 400-pound guy
Yeah,
versus
right.
his like
Best shape ever.
150-pounder or whatever.
The heavyweight, now 55 years old, has been retired since 2013. However, he has been working hard in recent months to get back in shape. He's been working with former WWE star Diamond Dallas Page, who has worked with retired athletes in the past to help them deal with post-retirement
Doing that DDP yoga.
help them deal with post-retirement pain and get them healthy. You got to telegraph the move with the diamond cutter. The DDP has worked with the likes of legends Jake the Snake Roberts and the late Scott Hall, helping both kick alcoholism as well. Butterbean has also has a significant past with the WWE, having boxed wrestler Bart Gunn at WrestleMania. Was that 25 in 1999?
No, it couldn't have been 25.
Was that 15?
Must have been 15.
15. So looking to DDP for help made a ton of sense. DDP's help looks to have paid off as well, with Butterbean shifting tons of weight and posting his progress across social media. Feeling healthy enough to put his gloves back on, Butterbean has called out the master of call-out, Jake Paul. He said, "I'm working with DDP to get up to walking and running around again, and I'm feeling the best shape I've ever had.
I'm back to walking. I'm ready to fight."
Yeah, I'm up to walking around again. Okay. I'm at fight weight. You'll have to listen to my podcast coming up to find out exactly how much weight I've lost, but I haven't weighed this in over 20 years, so that'll give you an idea. The big announcement is I'm going to fight one last fight. It's going to be 1 year from now. Jake Paul, if you're ready, I'm here for you, my friend. Let's get it on. Me and you, Jake Paul. I bet it would be an awesome fight. After you said what you said about me in the magazine, I'm ready to fight you. Are you ready? I don't think so. All right, so what do you say about him? Jake Paul is 5-0 since making the switch to the sport of boxing, having defeated the likes of Ben Askren and Tyrone Woodley. Who? Butterbean will have to join a long line of people waiting or wanting to lay one on Jake Paul's smug face. UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman has laid out a warning to Paul in the past. In April 2021, Usman tweeted at Paul, "I understand you think this is a game, which is probably why you don't realize this is how people truly get hurt. I don't play fighting, and I can change your life in the worst way." Meanwhile, UK YouTuber and longtime Jake Paul rival KSI recently declared that he was making his return to boxing so he can fuck Jake Paul up. All right, first of all, KSI, I'm pretty sure, got knocked out last time they fought. But secondly, I mean, this just sounds like another person who's going to throw a fight to Jake Paul for the money. You know, that's what they keep doing.
I mean, if there's money in it. But, yeah, might need one retirement fight.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's been retired for 8 years.
Man, I sometimes wonder if like, some of those big, thick guys like Butterbean, like if they ever even had to work out a lot, or if they're just like naturally built, like super tough. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he lifted weights, but, yeah, I mean, he hit hard. It's crazy watching some of his fights where people just will be like, sometimes you even just like let him punch him in the face like 3 or 4 times, and then he'd kick the shit out of him. Like, it was crazy. Like, people just like punch him in the face, and he wouldn't even move.
Wasn't Tyson also trying to have a gimmick match with Jake Paul or somebody?
Somebody.
Yeah, there's talk about Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul too. So
that one, that would be a slaughter.
yeah, I mean, Tyson couldn't even throw that fight because it'd be too obvious, right? Because like,
Yeah. Yeah, they showed videos of him like practicing, and like I was like, no.
I mean, I've never seen Jake Paul fight because I don't watch boxing, but I would think even with Butterbean, like,
Yeah.
I could see Butterbean beating him.
Someone his size. Well, Butterbean's famous for like one punching guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would think Butterbean would win hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's all for the money, man. Like, I think Jake Paul's gonna be 6-0 after this next fight. You know?
Still with Jake Paul, I'm sure he wouldn't mind even taking a dive or going
they're
up
both
someone.
gonna get paid.
Yeah.
He knows that like him being such a heel is going to bring in enough people watching that he's going to get paid no matter what.
But I think him being undefeated like adds to it. Like, it just, the next fight, it builds up the tension. Like, this one's the one where he's going down.
Oh, like who's going to break the streak? Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he gets his ass kicked once, it probably
like diminishing returns.
Yeah, diminishing returns after a while. Should we move on to Manifesto round 1?
Yeah, here's a fun one. Child takes lighter off Walmart shelf, sets fire to accessories aisles. So basically, she takes a lighter off the shelf. She wanders off into the store and then like lights an aisle on fire. It spreads to a couple of aisles. Sprinklers go off and everything, and then like she goes back to her mom and they take off.
I mean, how old was this kid? And
It made it sound like she was a toddler.
Doesn't sound like they were watching him too well.
Let me see. Yeah, it just says toddler.
Crazy.
Oh, now it says elementary age. That's slightly bigger than toddler.
Did you guys ever really play with fire when you were a kid?
I was stupid enough to touch a stove, but that's about it.
I mean, I know I burned myself on the wood stove, but I don't think I wasn't out there with a lighter, like, lighting shit on fire. We did get firecrackers. That's probably as close as we got.
The one crazy thing I remember, and it wasn't me, it was our stupid cousin Nathan that did crazy shit all the time. He took a bottle of WD-40 and like lit it, spraying it like a flamethrower. That I wouldn't have done.
Yeah, that can explode on you.
Yeah.
He set a dumpster on fire. Him and Dan.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah. There's some people who did some dumb shit, man.
Man, the craziest thing he did though was one time they were shooting bow and arrows, and like my other cousin Mick, his brother was there too, and he just all of a sudden shoots it straight up in the air.
Oh, no.
And so we're all like trying to find cover.
Yeah, it goes up, it disappears. You don't know where the fuck it is, where it's coming from.
And it ends up going in their neighbor's roof. And he ends up having to go up there and tar her ceiling where the hole it made,
Yeah. Fucking stupid.
He did stupid shit all the time.
The thing was, he wasn't stupid, but like if he thought of something stupid, he almost compulsively had to do it, I think.
Yeah, like those intrusive thoughts.
He's like, oh, that's in my head, gotta get it out. Something like that.
That's funny. But I mean, I don't blame him for shooting the arrow up, because there are people who are adults who are stupid enough to shoot guns straight up into the air. They still do that, like at weddings and stuff.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I think bullets, like they'd still hurt, but I think like the wind resistance will slow them down enough that it won't kill you. But
okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't take my chances.
Still wouldn't be fun to get like thumped with something like that going at however fast terminal velocity is for a bullet.
Yeah, I always thought like if you drop something like off of a high building, like the Empire State Building, I know they have like nets and stuff there to catch stuff.
Yeah, there was like a myth that if you throw a penny off, you could kill somebody, but I think MythBusters broke that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember hearing that when I was a kid all the time. Like, if you throw a penny off the Empire State Building, you can kill somebody with it. But yeah, I'm guessing that's not true.
If you threw a roll of pennies off, you might have a chance.
Then you might.
I'm sure. I bet a penny would still hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's still got to hurt like something. I don't know.
Throw that Batman penny up. That's one thing that still kind of annoys me is like almost every like current Batman artist, when they draw the Batcave, they'll put the stupid giant penny and the dinosaur in the Batcave. And I'm like,
he likes the trophies.
I mean, those things, like, Silver Age comics or whatever, fine. But, like, does he really these days still need the giant penny and the dinosaur? It just looks silly. I don't know.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's a thing in a lot of Batman comics. He's got a giant penny and a dinosaur.
It was in one of the animated shows, wasn't it? Like that giant penny.
I think so. Yeah, with the Almost Got Him episode with the Two-Face story.
There's some kind of like Indiana Jones thing where it rolled around I don't remember.
But like, I think those originate from very, very early Batman stories. That I probably never even read. But like, how they've like lasted the test of time, and like every artist is like, oh yeah, I got to draw the giant penny and the dinosaur. I don't know. It's so weird.
Gotta draw a dinosaur.
Do you though in a Batman comic?
Is this like every time they show his cave?
It's a lot.
Okay.
Not everybody, but more than you'd hope. Was that it on that one?
Yeah.
Did you ever see it in the movies? This penny and dinosaur?
I don't think they've done it in the movies, luckily.
It could have been back in like Batman Forever or something.
Okay.
Yeah, if ever a movie was going to do it, Batman and Robin or Batman Forever would be the one.
Holy manhole covers, Batman.
Well, I got a story here that's actually an update on a woman we've talked about a couple different times. And the lesson of this story, ladies, if we have any lady listeners, is if you're an attractive woman, or even like a slightly attractive woman, or maybe even an ugly woman, I don't know, just sell all of your bodily liquids, your bodily solids, your soiled underwear, sell it all to perverts and make money. So we talked before about a woman who used to sell her farts, but then like the diet.
Yeah, she was having distress.
So she had to quit. So a woman who sold her farts now makes $5,000 per day selling boob sweat. She's got a new market. Remember the woman who made a small fortune selling her own farts in jars? Well, you'll be delighted to know she's back. Only this time she's flogging her boob sweat instead. Despite making bank from her gassy goods last year, Steph Motto from Connecticut, United States, had to announce her early retirement after she was hospitalized due to the diet she'd been following. The self-proclaimed fartrepreneur opted for a fiber-high diet living off beans and eggs, which didn't go down too well with her insides and led to her experiencing chest pains caused by excessive gas. It must have been a shame for the 31-year-old former reality star, as she was raking in up to $1,000 per fart jar. Steph Motto was hospitalized after eating a diet designed to make her fart. But before you start feeling too sorry for her, Steph's made a full recovery and is now selling her boob sweat instead. Steph, who previously appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, claims putting a jar together for her fans takes her just 15 minutes, with the social media influencer spending up to 4 hours a day lounging by her garden pool to get the desired perspiration levels. If the sun is shining, she claims to be able to fill 10 bottles of sweat jars in just one day, which are then sold at $500 a pop. Quote, I love sitting by the pool, but it's also hard work. Don't be fooled. Oh, yeah. I also have a great set of breasts, and smelling the sweat, licking the sweat would bring fans as close as they can get to them. Now, the influencer is making bank from her boob sweat. Sometimes it can vary how long it takes to fill up a jar, as it depends on several scientific factors, mainly the heat, movement, and how hydrated I am. I try to drink a lot of water and sit as much in direct sunlight as I can. I like to call myself the human maple tree and the boob sweat my sap. I sit there and collect my sap the same way a maple tree does. Once again, her unusual business venture comes with a set of risks, and sitting in the sun for too long is certainly not good for a person's health. But Steph says she's taking precautions to protect herself, adding, "I'm also trying to practice this craft as safely as possible with a proper SPF moisturizer. However, after the past week, I have learned that a simple SPF 30 won't be cutting it, since I did burn my chest quite badly. With Boob Sweat, I want to do things right. I want to be smart, start off slow, and have sustainable growth that doesn't overwhelm my body." The influencer announced her new product on Instagram last week, and let's just say the online community had some thoughts. Quote, "Get that money, but also try a sauna so you don't crack from heat stroke," wrote one. While another quipped, "The Elon Musk of body byproducts." A third joked, "I am surprised the girl is not selling organs." Well, as long as she sticks to her safety pledge and keeps lathering on that sunscreen, there's no reason why she can't turn her boob sweat into lucrative business. It's certainly a step up from fart jars. I mean...
Is it?
It does make you wonder, like, the guys who get this, like, do you think they're drinking it?
Yeah.
I do too.
Ugh.
And they're probably just, or they're just like lathering it on themselves.
You know, I don't believe in genocide.
But if you could round all these people
If we
up.
could round up all these men. I mean, that is nuts. How is there such a large population of you people who are doing this?
I know years ago I tweeted $1 million idea, Pepsi, but Penelope Cruz pees in it. And it's I guarantee it's true.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a hit with some folks. Like, they would pay top dollar.
Like, you could have Kim Kardashian piss in a perfume bottle, and people would be like,
I think there was
it's
one.
got certain je ne sais quoi.
Wasn't there one lady who was like selling bathwater?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That,
Belle Delphine?
yeah.
Delphine or whatever. Yeah,
That seems like you could do that over and over quite a few times.
yeah, you could make so much money off of that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these women, like, don't work a regular job.
But then they found pictures where she like had herpes.
Well, I think that was a fake news story.
Oh, that was fake news?
Yeah.
Although a lot of people do have herpes, so it's possible. Yeah. Bathwater.
Man, I don't know. Those guys who let this happen, that they're also the same people who are going to let the end of the world happen at some point. Like, they're going to be the people that ruin everything for everyone.
They're gonna the people who like the ship is going down there, but they're like, too bad for you guys.
You got any underwear I can smell while you're jumping off this shit?
Yeah.
I'm already in heaven, way ahead of you.
Leonardo on the board. You can die happy.
Oh my God. There's like two guys behind Kate Winslet smelling her feet on the board.
I know there's one of these guys with a fart jar in one hand and a boob sweat one in the other, and he's just like
Double fisting it.
all this does is get me to normal.
Oh man.
Wearing a pair of soiled panties on his head at the same time, I bet.
I mean, look, I've seen the picture of this girl. She's pretty, but it doesn't matter what you look like. Once a bodily fluid has gone through your body, it's disgusting. Just because her face is pretty doesn't mean her orifices and everything are top shape, like a 10. They're clean, ready to go.
These guys aren't interested in clean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What about the black market for breast milk?
Oh yeah, in the UK
That's a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people will pay good money for breast milk.
They'll eat like actual ice cream made of breast milk.
Yeah.
It's like a unique premium thing they do. I don't know if this is true, but I heard this one woman say on TikTok that it was like one of her like fantasies. She was writing a book about this, but she was saying like one of her clients wanted her to not take a shower and stuff for like a week so she could make booty butter.
Booty butter.
Yeah, so it's like the remaining excess, fluids or whatever that are there. That
Swamp ass.
Yeah, that swamp ass. And he would get into that.
How is he going to get collected? Or is he just going to put his face in there?
I guess he just puts his face in.
A butter knife.
It's on his toast. This is the only way to eat an English muffin.
She's just on the counter and he's just like sliding toast up.
Oh yeah, he's like right on the bread.
You know how in toasters you push it?
He's got a YouTube. I bought $10,000 toast.
Man, so really, not only should women sell all their fluids and their soiled underwear and everything, but if they do get pregnant, they should never stop pumping the breast milk because that's another avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you keep pumping, it keeps coming.
Oh my God, ladies,
Lifelong
you could
security.
be making so much money.
Yep, just by being gross and disgusting. Imagine what you could do with your period. Oh my gosh, that.
I bet
Dixie
that
cups.
I bet that's a thing. I bet women selling their used tampons and shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure somebody.
I haven't heard of that lane, but it's got to be one.
It probably is.
Oh my God.
Get to researching.
Those guys would just become janitors so they can.
Oh, they clean out the tuna bucket.
Yeah, I used to, when I worked at Pomida and had to clean those, I used to call them the tuna boats.
Yeah. Well, do you remember we did a story where somebody was fishing condoms out of the sewer and washing them and reselling them?
I don't, but it sounds like something somebody would do.
It was definitely somewhere in the Asian. It might have been China, I think. Yeah.
Someone throwing away perfectly good condom.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, in China, they fish out reused or used oil.
Oh, that's right. Somebody was getting, because you get those fat deposits in the.
Yeah, so they
harvest the oils.
Yeah, they go into the gutters and pull out the oils, and there'll still be plastic and other stuff in there. But these restaurants, I think 20% of the street food has these reused oils.
Reused oils. That's a terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, I saw something the other day. Someone posted a picture of this white chunk of stuff that they washed up on the beach, and they cut into it, and they're it seems organic, and someone was yeah, that's probably a chunk of fat that washed out of the sewer.
Oh.
I was oh, that's nasty.
Oh.
But yeah, apparently those things just wash up on the beach sometimes.
I watched years ago. Dad was watching one of those food shows where they go to different restaurants or whatever, and there was this restaurant that it was basically a burger joint, but their selling point was the grease they used to fry their burgers
had been in the fire.
Had been in there for decades, a long ass time. I'm does that make the hamburger taste better having old ass grease in it?
Yeah, that reminds me of a Thai soup. In Thailand, they have this soup that's been sitting there for decades also, and they always take out whatever portion for the customer, but the soup always remains. It's always the same kind of. From 40 years, it's never been completely replaced or anything.
And
or not 40. I don't know how many decades.
But it's must be something that doesn't go bad or doesn't rot or what.
Well,
probably fermented.
It's always cooking. It's heated.
Oh, it's always on the pot, so they just add stuff into it.
Yeah. So they'll increase the amount of it, but they'll never completely run out. So it's always the same pot.
I mean, that's that. What is it? Theseus' ship or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Is do you think any of the soup in there is the soup that was originally in there?
Statistically, definitely.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
there's
really?
Remnants. little bits.
I mean,
of,
if you think of like how many like atoms are in that, like,
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
of
I
it-
guess that's true.
some of it's
Like,
been around.
I guess that's true. Huh. Yeah, it's interesting. I think AJ, I think we're back around to you.
Oh, all right, let's see what we got here. Should I go with this one? This is a long one, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Skydiver survives 13,500 foot fall after after leg got tangled in the parachute.
Oh.
A skydiver miraculously survived a 13,500 foot fall after her leg got tangled up in a parachute. Watch her chart her lengthy rehabilitation here. Jordan Hatmaker from Virginia Beach, USA, did her first ever skydive in 2015 and immediately fell in love with the daredevil pursuit. The 35-year-old subsequently decided to train for her license, which would enable her to dive on her own. But on November 14th last year, on her 16th ever jump, something went very badly wrong. Indeed, she was lucky it wasn't her last ever jump. She was incredibly lucky to survive. After about 10 seconds of free fall, she moved away from her coach and pulled the cord to release her parachute. But the pilot chute, the smaller one that comes out before the main canopy, was wrapped around her leg. Her leg was then suspended in the air as she fell at 125 miles per hour. With nothing to slow her down, as she desperately scrambled to try and free herself, her reserve chute was automatically released. The jolt of the release catapulted the main canopy out of its bag, and the two inflated parachutes flew away from each other to create a downplane, propelling her to the ground even faster. Everything happened really quickly, Jordan recalled. I didn't even have any thoughts because I was spiraling, so I didn't know what was going on. I was just in strategy mode. She hit the ground 20 seconds after pulling her release cord, and remarkably remained conscious, though she maybe wishes she hadn't. First, I tried to push myself off the ground, and when I couldn't move anything, my first thought was I was paralyzed, and I was yelling that out. I've never heard sounds like that come out of my body. I screamed blood-curdling screams. She continued, I hit my left leg first and then bounced off my butt and face planted, and that's how I broke my back. There was just extreme burning throughout my lower back and down my legs. An air ambulance rushed her to Centera Norfolk General Hospital, where she was told she had broken most of her lower back, her tibia and ankle, and was sustaining a spinal cord injury. Jordan, who works as a sales contractor, works in sales for a contractor, had to spend the best part of a month in the hospital, where doctors decompressed her spinal cord before performing spinal fusion surgery and removing bone fragments. Jordan also had surgery to fix her broken tibia and ankle. Despite all of this, she remains grateful and positive. I was very thankful to be alive. That was my thought, and I had most often. She recollected. I had a lot of hope in that I would be able to walk again, even though I couldn't lift my legs or move them back and forth. I had a lot of hope that I would do everything I wanted to do again. Jordan had a 2-week hiking trip to Mount Everest planned for just 3 days after her ill-fated skydive, and despite the fact she still suffers from aspects of spinal cord injury with symptoms such as numbness, nerve pain, and pelvic floor dysfunction, she now set her sights on tackling it in November. She said, I don't think you should give up things that you love just because an obstacle was put in your way. Life is too short, and you should do what makes you happy. I really hope to send a message of trying to find the silver lining in whatever situation you're in. You never know how strong you are until you have to be. Don't underestimate yourself. As for her hopes of skydiving, once again, she added, don't tell my family. We'll see what happens when I get to the plane door. All right, I mean, she's a thrill seeker.
And that's why you never skydive, is the moral of that story.
She could just sell boob sweat. What's wrong with this girl?
I know.
That's amazing, man, to survive that fall, especially she was going down faster than she would if she was just falling because her chutes made it that way. I don't know, man. That's nuts. I would have had a heart attack way before I hit the ground, but good for her.
You've actually gone skydiving.
Yeah, once.
How, was it scary?
The scary part is stepping off the door.
Oh, geez.
After that, it's just fun.
Okay.
But yeah, the anticipation and the fear of taking the jump that's definitely the hardest part.
I'll be honest, like if someone offered me $1 million, I still don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could.
I would do it like if I was like the 100th person that day to do it. You know, like the same process and everything has been done right before me many times, then I would go for it. But if it was like, hey, this is the first time ever we've got skydiving, and you're gonna be our first guy to do it, and trust us, it's safe. You know, like I wouldn't do that then. No.
Got a classless person.
What time are we at?
Oh, we got about 10 minutes
I
left.
pooped my pants.
You got a 10-minute story for us?
I got like a 30-second story, and that's about it. 2 incidents with mountain lions. So one in California, a mountain lion randomly walked into his school, and the janitor somehow shut it in an empty room. I'm like, yeah. If I saw a mountain lion,
I'd be pissing my pants.
yeah.
They're
But then-
fucking scary.
I mean, the attacks are very rare, but still, no. And then there's another one in Washington where there's a girl who was playing on a playground, and she came out and a juvenile mountain lion attacked her, and she lived. Like, she
Jeez.
fought with it and whatever, and she had injuries and, scratches and bites and stuff, but...
I would think a mountain lion could easily kill her.
Well, she was they said the mountain lion was juvenile, so...
Oh, so it was...
I'm not sure how big it was exactly. And I saw another story, it's been a little while ago, where a guy was attacked by probably, like, you call it, say, like a teenage mountain lion. But, like, it got him down, and, like, he got a hold of a rock and, like, beat it to death with a rock.
Jeez.
And he had big scars on his face and shit. But I was like, that's a feat. Kill a mountain lion with your bare hands.
Yeah, if you can say you beat a mountain lion with your bare hands and a rock, that's pretty tough.
All right, I'm not trying to one up anybody's story here.
It's like this one time a dog barked at me.
And I barked right back now.
He's like, that chihuahua was giving me shit. Not anymore.
But
Field goal.
I think my great grandmother, I'm not sure, one of them, I heard, this is only a story that was told to me, but she was on like a porta potty. Like back then, the restrooms were outside. And like it was at night, and like a leopard was like creeping up on her or something, and she had like one of these big, heavy, like bigger than this bracelet, and she like swung her arm, and she said that the story is that she hit the leopard while it was like running at her, and like killed it with the blow.
What?
Yeah, with like a metal one of these, like a heavy one.
I need this story substantiated.
I mean, it sounds nuts to me too, but
At first, when you were setting up that story, I thought you were going to be the leopard was hiding in the toilet.
I was when you went to the toilet, I was like, "There's a cobra in that fucking toilet."
but this is like all outdoors and stuff, so like, yeah, I guess it just had easy access to her.
Jeez. Yeah, cats are scary.
Man, speaking of mountain lions, like our parents were just in town, and I guess back up in Montana, they said they had a mountain lion on their property.
Yeah,
Which is pretty scary, man. I would not be
definitely
comfortable.
I'd be going to the car with a gun, like all paranoid.
I would too.
And then it would jump off the roof and kill me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I saw a picture online not too long ago of a mountain lion on. It was like I think it was a mountain lion just like on somebody's roof
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah, there's monsters out there.
Let's see. Well, I just skimmed this article. I didn't read it in depth, so hopefully it's somewhat entertaining. Man dressed as elderly woman smears cake on the Mona Lisa. Even after all these centuries, we still don't know what's behind Mona Lisa's mysterious smile. But we wouldn't be surprised if her smile had gotten a bit wider after the latest bizarre attack against the famous painting. Fortunately, the attack didn't damage Mona Lisa. Instead, it just left the painting's protective case smeared with cream. That's because the man carrying out the assault threw a cake at it. He was also dressed as an old woman. And he hopped up from a wheelchair to do it, only to yell, "Think of the Earth," afterwards. Yeah, we're not really sure where to begin with this case either. The strange incident took place at the Louvre, Paris, where Mona Lisa hangs on display. On May 29th, a crowd of people had gathered to view the painting, as usual. And that's where the usual proceedings of the day ended. American tourist Luke Sundberg described the jaw-dropping events that followed in an interview with the BBC. According to Sundberg, there were suddenly loud gasps from the museum visitors. A person whom everyone had assumed to be a wheelchair-bound old woman suddenly leaped up to her feet. But as everyone soon realized, this wasn't an old lady at all. Instead, Sundberg described the person as a man wearing a wig and lipstick. The cross-dressing man then began punching the bulletproof glass covering Mona Lisa in an attempt to break it. Finding that his strength wasn't enough to shatter the case, he then smeared a cake he apparently had been holding all over the glass. It took some 10 to 15 seconds for security personnel to make their way through the crowd. As the attacker spotted them, he then started to toss roses at the guards. What the fuck? But the flowers were unsuccessful at deterring the security staff. Oh, I wonder why. They apprehended the man and escorted him away. As the man walked past the crowd, he told them in French to, quote, "Think about the earth. There are people who are destroying the earth. Think about it. All artists think about the earth," he said. "This is why I did this. Think about the planet." The Paris prosecutor's office later confirmed that a 36-year-old man had been arrested following the incident. The man had been taken to a police psychiatric unit while authorities opened an investigation that could result in him being charged with damaging cultural artifacts. Although this is by far the most bizarre attempt at damaging Mona Lisa, it's not the first one in any case. Ever since the painting achieved public attention in the late 19th century, there have been multiple cases of people trying to damage or steal it. In fact, while the painting was still fairly obscure, it was successfully stolen. On August 21st, 1911, Mona Lisa disappeared from the Louvre. During the investigation, even Pablo Picasso was suspected of being the culprit. But the real thief was Vincenzo Perugia, a Louvre employee. An Italian nationalist, Perugia believed the painting should have been removed or returned to Italy. He swiped Mona Lisa from Louvre and hid it in his apartment for 2 years. Eventually, authorities caught him when Perugia tried to sell the painting to get rid of it. In 1914, Mona Lisa returned to the Louvre. The next incident happened in the early 1950s when a man attacked Mona Lisa with a razor blade. He claimed to be in love with the painting and was trying to steal it or make sure no one else could have it. In 1956, another vandal managed to throw acid at Mona Lisa, damaging its lower edge while the painting was on display at another museum. After this event, Louvre put a glass case around the painting, but it wasn't yet the modern bulletproof case as we found out later the same year. That's when a Bolivian man called Hugo Unhaza Villegas hurled a stone at the painting while visiting the Louvre. The stone broke the glass case and caused slight chipping damage to the canvas. Then, in 1974, Mona Lisa made a trip to Japan to visit the Tokyo National Museum. While on display, a woman sprayed paint at the painting to protest the museum's lack of access for disabled people. Luckily, the now bulletproof case prevented the paint from tarnishing Mona Lisa. Before the cake incident, the latest attack on Mona Lisa took place in 2009. That's when an upset Russian woman who had just been denied French citizenship threw a souvenir teacup from the Louvre at the painting. Once again, the glass case prevented damage to the painting. You have to wonder what it is about the smiling Renaissance lady that attracts weirdos. That is weird. I would have had no idea that many times like people attempted to destroy it.
No, I knew it had been stolen a couple times.
I believe it. Yeah. People will take anything that's worth value.
Sacred.
Sacred and like shit on it. That's why, I mean, like we have the pyramids and stuff because those were like huge undertakings and they survived for a long period of time. But I think anything that was like kind of sensitive or need to be preserved, like people were eager to get their hands on it and mess it up to like have their name go down in history or something.
Well,
like
even
that.
the pyramids were covered in marble that all got stolen.
Yeah, and I think people like etch their names into there too.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure. Yeah. Kilroy was here.
Yeah.
I actually hate that when I'm like in the city. There's so many like taggers around. I'm like, this is garbage. But then there's like somebody takes their time and does a nice piece of art, and I'm like, that's nice. And then some tagger tags on it. And I'm like, that guy's whoever did that's a cunt.
Yeah.
That's a cunt right there.
Have you guys heard? I listen to podcasts a lot, and there's been an advertisement for some sort of basically service where you can invest in art. So I guess
NFTs question.
it's not NFTs, but apparently I don't know what they do.
Actually,
Apparently,
I think I know what you're talking
as
about.
a group, I guess they buy a bunch of art or something.
And you get your piece of the.
You get your piece of the pie, and I'm just like, do you think that is a worthwhile investment? I mean, they say fine art can really like go up in value or whatever, but it's just another one of those things that I'd be leery of investing in.
Yeah, I think it has its ups and downs, and it has its stylistic turns, and I think it's hard to predict as anything. But some people have spent a ton of money on some real garbage over the years.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think with art is like, it's not like an iPhone. You can't get some tangible value out of it, Like, art is just based on whatever that person decides it's worth,
Yeah, I'll never understand like why some very like basic looking paintings are valued so high.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy put 2 colors on the canvas and it's worth all this money, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, there are like those like conspiracy theories about tax kickbacks and stuff. Like, I don't know.
It just seems like that whole tulips thing all over again, where they're like, creating like this market that's not.
I feel like NFTs has definitely gone that direction.
Yeah.
Like it's spiked, and I was like, "There's so much mania in this, and people are buying like ridiculous things." I was like, "This is definitely not going to make it."
But I already feel like NFTs, like people caught on quick that like, why would we be interested in these? Like, I feel like
it was big and stupid. But there's also like there's so much crypto out, and there was so much speculation in that.
That's true.
I mean, I think Bitcoin and a couple others will probably survive, but actively looking at it for investment, I think is not a solid plan.
Right.
Although some people made a shitload of money in it, so.
Yeah, for a minute there, it seemed like maybe Bitcoin and crypto would really like take over, but then like it just a while ago like crashed big time. So it's like,
yeah, it's so hard because it's not like tied to anything, so it just flows with the the impulses of people, and I don't know. I think Bitcoin has more stability just because it's been around. But yeah,
at least I think they finally stopped playing those Matt Damon commercials before movies.
yeah. What was that?
It was for crypto.
Yeah, I don't know.
They renamed the Lakers Arena Crypto Arena, I think. Crypto.com.
Oh yeah, don't they call it like the crypt or something?
I don't know what their nickname is, but yeah, it's named for crypto.
Yeah, I heard that. I think people like refer to it as the crypt.
What's the stadium here called? I forget.
The Rose Garden, I think.
It starts with an M.
Oh, Moda Center.
Moda Center, and it's
Yeah.
like Moda is like some insurance nobody's ever heard of.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I have no idea what that is.
It's weird because I think it's from here, Moda
Yeah,
Insurance.
probably.
But I don't even think people here know what it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, arenas are always changing their name now. It's just like whoever has the money to.
right?
Yeah.
You lease the space.
Or when in Houston, it used to be called, the baseball field used to be Enron Field. And they had just opened it up too. It was a brand new arena. And then that whole thing happened with Enron. So they quickly changed it to Minute Maid Park.
Some like dildo manufacturer.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
AdamandEve.com.
Yeah,
arena.
Adam and Eve Park or
named
whatever.
after like cigarettes or alcohol or shit like that.
That probably was more common back in the day.
Well, for the longest time, NASCAR had the Winston Cup, right, which was for Winston cigarettes.
I didn't make that connection. But
I'm pretty sure it was. And then I think it became like a Motorola or something.
I don't know.
Is Motorola still a company?
Yeah, I think they're making like some TVs, like projectors.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Not great stuff.
Well, guys, this was a good show, but should we wrap it up?
I'm ready.
All good things have to come to an end and all that. Well, everybody that's watched and listened, thank you very much. Please make sure to subscribe on YouTube and also on your podcast service of choice. Give us a thumbs up. If you're really feeling up to it, a good old 5-star review will help us out. Share our clips online and all that. Give us comments. Tell us things you like or don't like. And why not follow us on Twitter? Guys, where can people find you on the Twitter?
At a name for this too, and that's number 2.
At unsolicited SUG.
And you can, of course, find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.